Qualifier. Got the fist bump, and I think Hani said he's going to be going first.
That's going to be really important here. When you look at the Purrely strategy, it struggles at dealing with really aggressive strategies like Dragon Link. Yep. You don't want to play up against a huge combo board, because usually you're not playing that many things to interrupt their field, and you don't want to have to deal with a large board. I mean, your main out is going to be a copy of Divine Arsenal Zeus. You don't want to have to deal with it, and that is a miss off Purrely immediately.
Yep, the normal summon of Purrely gets to excavate the top 3 and didn't hit any Purrely cards, so it's just going to be out there. But it looks like he has Delicious Memory.
That is Delicious Memory, yes. He's going to be activating it, so he can get to try again, because Purrely is not once per turn for its excavate effect, is whenever it's normal special summoned.
Looks like he does have another copy of it in his hand, too. Not great to draw 2 copies of Purrely.
Yeah, there's not that many normal summons in the deck. You definitely don't want to open more than one of them. It's one of the restrictions of playing so many redundant monsters, but usually, because you're summoning them from your deck so often, you just want to only be summoning them from your deck.
It's going to discard the triple tactic talents here to special summon.
Purrely effect. Not bad.
Yeah. It's going to be Purrely. So Purrely on summon doesn't have to excavate, can just add that Purrely Speller Trap, and he's going to grab my friend Purrely.
Really strong for Hani here to not have that card be interrupted. Unlike Purrely, Purrely is hard once per turn in its ability to use its effect to add, and he is now able to use its other effect, go after the Delicious Memory in his graveyard, and then rank up into, that is Plump?
Plump, yep. Definitely an awesome to start with that limited Delicious Memory. So now he's going to be able to use my friend Purrely. He's going to have to pay 500 life points. He'll be able to reveal 3 Purrely quick play spells, and then 1 will randomly get added to the hand. Going for Sleepy, Sleepy, and I'd guess a 3rd copy of Sleepy Memory to guarantee which one he's going to get.
That does seem to be the case. Yep, there's the 3rd.
Yep. Sleepy?
Yep. That's good. Now he can use the effect of Purrely if he wants to just rank up using that Sleepy in his hand. Or no, he's just choosing to activate it, and then he can, if there's no response from Sebastian here, he can just use the effect of Plump to attach it as well.
Yep. That's what he's doing.
Going to be
up to thrice per turns when you activate the Purrely quick play spell, you can attach it as a material.
And here's Purrely number 3.
Yep, all 3 Purrelys out of the deck.
We'll see if he is able to hit off the 2nd excavation here.
Pot of Prosperity.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. He already has 1 Sleepy under the Plump. He's definitely going to want to amass more Sleepies.
I imagine he might go into... Oh, like he's just starting with this. Going to use the Sleepy Memory again. Use the effect of Plump.
Effect to equip. Chain effect to attach.
Sure. Multiple spells there. It's going to be a really large material monster.
He said equip, but they both attach. So Plump's going to go into X Purrely Noir since it has 5 materials.
Opting to go into that first, potentially playing around with something along the lines of Nibiru the Primal Being. Although I don't think it's that many summons, but just going into Princess right after, just in case.
Yep, so he's going to be able to use 2 level 1s to go into Sylvan Princess Sprout. He's going to be able to excavate the top card, and if it's a Speller Trap, he'll be able to add it to the hand.
Yep, there's a Book of Eclipse.
Not a bad one. So he's got Noir with 2 Sleepy Memories underneath it. So he'll be able to draw 2 cards during Sebastian's standby phase.
Yeah.
Right. It does seem like the obvious thing to do to always use that effect in the standby phase. Being able to draw 2 cards is really strong. But now that Noir is vulnerable to something along the lines of Kurikara.
Thrust is also turned online if Sebastian decided to bring that here in his main deck. The Delicious also, it boosts attack and defense, I believe.
Yeah, it's getting real thick.
Let's see if Sebastian has something to deal with Noir. As long as it has all these materials, at least 5 underneath it, will be unaffected by activated effects.
Yeah, 7 is like the ideal point where you're able to still use this effect, detach to, you put it back in the bottom of the deck, I believe?
Just back to the deck. Maybe it is the bottom, but back to the deck either way. Solid form of removal.
Yeah. And that effect not being once per turn, but at least 7 so that it's still unaffected after you use it.
And it looks like Sebastian starting things off by discarding the Bestial Lubellion to add Bestial Magnum to his hand. The Bestials really gave Dragon Link a huge... Oh, Starleaf Safer, that's a classic Dragon Link, but a huge boost and like the viability, all sorts of different cool things you can do in Dragon Link. So Safer's going to send Rocket Recharger to the graveyard, so he's going to try and add probably one of Collapse Serpent or Wyver Burster.
Yeah, imagine he's going to go for White Dragon Wyver Burster here.
Hani checking how many materials he has under Noir.
I imagine there's no reason to use any response now. If he was going to use a response, he would probably use it on the Seyfert summon, if we're talking about Noir here. I don't know if there's... Yeah, okay, Ash Blossoms is perfectly fine, though.
Yeah, maybe he was already knowing he was going to Ash and thinking if he wanted to clear the Seyfert off the field to stop something like Striker Dragon from coming down.
That makes sense.
Because, yeah, sending the Rocket Recharge to the graveyard, not too bad if you're able to add Boot Sector Launch, because as long as Hani has more monsters on the field, he'll be able to use that Boot Sector Launch to not only special summon from his hand, but he could also special summon from his graveyard.
Honestly, that's like the better effect, especially going second, is when you're at that difference. You can make up the difference by easily getting that amount from the graveyard. A lot more free than from the hand. Oh, there is a copy of Chaos Space as well, with another copy of Seyfert. That will get him access to the Black Dragon Collapse Sprint.
Sure.
Chaos Space, a fantastic card. You can also search out the Bestial Rebellion.
Yeah, I assume when you already have one in the grave, not necessarily the one you want right now.
Not here, not now, but maybe at some point.
Seyfert really can also add it back.
Ooh. It's like the viability of all the different things you can do with Dragon Link. It's kind of depending on how you draw, you can navigate your game plan pretty variety of ways.
Yeah, I think one of the stronger openings now is using Dragon Ravine to discard Serenir to send Seyfert as well as send Lebellion.
Oh, that is pretty cool. Does look like Sebastian is going to activate Boot Sector Launch. He's going to use it to bring back Rocket Recharger from the graveyard.
Now, with those two Dragon monsters on the field, he could go Link Summoning into Romulus.
Oh, Romulus.
I don't think Seals is probably what you want to do in this situation.
It wouldn't be too bad.
Into Noir?
Well, there's other monsters on the field. It could be something he's trying to like get a dragon out of his deck, but yeah, not something he's going to do yet. He's going to summon that Collapse Serpent, banishing Seyfert.
All right, that is a lot of monsters represented. Hani sees perhaps a reason to start using his effect here. So Collapse Serpent goes back into the bottom of the deck.
Yep, that's a response to one. Oh, okay. Ping on Raz if I want to do it.
Does go to the bottom.
And then he's going to use it again because Noir is not once per turn, so it will no longer be unaffected, but he can go after another card here. Now that Sebastian has committed more monsters onto the field.
Yeah, the big thing about Dragon Link is you don't want them to have two monsters on the field because that's when things can get dicey.
Yep.
Interesting, going after the Striker Dragon when Sebastian can easily go back into it with the Recharger.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this plays out. Because yeah, he does still have the Recharger, so he's going to use Magnum to banish the Purrely.
Hani did know about that. Hani contemplating if he's going to allow that to resolve. Can Noir go after your own cards in the graveyard as well?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. And now Magnum is going to be activating its effect to be able to add in the end phase.
So Hani still has this Book of Eclipse that he was added off the Princess Sprite. He likely does not want to have to use it that early because on two monsters giving Sebastian Todd that many draws. But it does like Hani never even needed to. Couldn't get past
YCS, so that kind of gave away that it's still a solid deck. Even I think we saw Chris make it to top 4 even.
Absolutely, yeah. They've been playing this deck for quite a long time and still believe in it after the hit to Delicious Memory. But we'll see. This is where Purrely really has a weakness, is when it plays against a deck that puts out a really strong field turn 1, and that's kind of what Dragon Link wants to do. We'll see just exactly what kind of field he's going to be able to make. Will Hani have those interruptions from the hand that the deck doesn't necessarily usually focus on? It's usually more focused on those powerful spell cards to deal with the board after because of how good the Happy Memory into Happiness is, being able to clear the board that way. You want to kind of just let things happen, but when there's this much going on, it could be a little too much for the Purrely deck to deal with.
So we saw Sebastian normal summon Seyfert not use the effect, which is a big indicator that he probably already had a Collapse Serpent or Wyvern Burster in the hand. It links it away into Striker Dragon to add a Boot Sector Launch to the hand, and then we're going to see him special summon the Collapse Serpent. So he's going to have the 2 dragons to go into Romulus, which is going to be met by an Infinite Impermanence. Oh no, did he imperm the Striker Dragon?
No, he impermed the Romulus.
Okay, he didn't. Oh, he's searching for the Collapse Serpent. Okay, I thought he impermed the Romulus. What do you think about that? Do you imperm the Striker Dragon to cut off the Boot Sector, or are you going after the Romulus to stop them from adding the Dragon Ravine?
So there's a lot of understanding to hitting the Boot Sector, but Boot Sector, at this point, you know what it does. There's less and less rockets in these deck as the deck has progressed, but Ravine has more and more targets now. You don't want to get him have access to Serenir, access to having Lebellion in the grave. There's just so many more dragons that are threatening in the grave at this point, and I think Boot Sector is more of an inevitability.
Makes sense. So it looks like we get to see the cool combo where he has the branded Regained and the Wyvern Burster, so he's going to be able to put back the Collapse Serpent. Even though both these cards are limited to 1, he's going to be able to add it back. And it looks like we're going to see a special summon of Rocket Caliber here to get another dragon onto the field. He's going to then link his Wyvern Burster off for Pithzy, and now he's going to be able to link the Romulus and the Caliber for...
Imagine triple burst dragon?
Has to be that triple burst, so now he has those arrows pointing at that open zone. So he's going to be able to summon from his banish to get that Starlight Safer back into his graveyard. Looks like we're going to be navigating, looking for a Boral End Dragon here at some point.
Yeah, this does seem to be the amount of monsters you are required to use for Boral End Dragon. I think you'd rather end on something like that more than the Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres that we mentioned earlier being so strong in the Dragon deck, because after you use its Tribute effect, you're able to get another Dragon from your deck. It's really strong against normal summon strategies, but not necessarily the strongest here. Ooh, that was an incredibly powerful Ash Blossom. Safer, after it's being returned, using itself and the Collapse Serpent to try to get a level 8 monster, but Ash Blossom taking that 2-for-1.
Yep, but Sebastian does have the quick launch, and now he's going to special summon Rocket Tracer. Rocket Tracer is going to use its effect to destroy Boot Sector, launch a special summon a rocket from the deck.
All right, now finally locked into dark monsters from the extra deck.
Locked into Dark and Dragons while the Pitsy's up. The two things that kind of lock you into things. I guess Quad Boral also locks you as well.
Got to linked 3 or higher, yeah?
Yeah, something like that. And it looks like all those monsters are going to go to summon the incredible Boral End Dragon. Boral End has a lot of effects. I'll just break it down for you real quick. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, neither player can target this card with monster effects. This card can attack all monster opponent controls once each. It has all of those Boral effects all into one. It also has the quick effect. You can target an effect monster on the field and 1 rocket in your graveyard, negate the effects of the monster on the field, and special summon that rocket. Your opponent cannot activate anything in response to that effect activation. But he's going to be able to go into Boral Load Savage Dragon as well, which will provide him a negate
draw
during the opponent's turn, and he gets the boost from the triple burst being a link 3.
Yeah, being able to potentially use it on 3 separate turns here. Now, we saw just how strong the Dragon Link strategy is at playing through those interruptions from the end, an Ash Blossom and an Infinite Impermanence, and you still end on a board like this. The only unfortunate thing is there were no Bestials in any part of this process, especially with Ravine being cut off, so Regain not going to be able to get its extra additional effect of when a monster is summoned to summon back from the graveyard.
Mm-hmm. And it does look like Hani has Stray Purrely Street, so that's going to help him navigate this turn. So any Purrely monster that's special summoned won't be able to be targeted.
For the turn that they're special summoned. So
just this turn.
Yeah. He's going to have to push a lot through right now.
Yeah, Boral End has a lot of cool effects that can't be destroyed or targeted, but it still can be Zeused.
Yes. Zeus seems to be the answer to everyone's problems.
It is a good one.
It's only becoming one of my favorite cards in the game, honestly.
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. It really makes any deck that can use Xyz monsters have that powerful tool to kind of navigate through in a complicated board state and make it very simplified very quickly. So see, Hani's going to activate the Purrely. He activated maybe to see if something would happen to the street, then followed up with a Pot of Prosperity. So he's going to look at banishing 6 cards from his extra deck so he can activate the top 6, pick 1, and add it to the hand.
Yeah, really maybe trying to see what he can get the Savage to be used on. Oh, but there is an Ash Blossom on the Pot of Prosperity as well. That is 4 cards spent out of the hand. Yeah, Hani doesn't have much left. You would only have, even have non-quick play spells. So I guess you would have to go for Street, or you could go for Purrely, so you don't have to do it later.
Ooh, that's very true. Until Duel's Nexus comes out, then everything changes. If you're a Purrely fan, definitely make sure you pay attention to our upcoming stuff on our YouTube for more information on Duelist Nexus.
Yeah, this deck only gets stronger as time goes.
3-minute count extend and play on.
Yeah. Okay. No comment here. Purrely is going to activate the effect to add Purrely. Looks like you called it.
Honestly, I think looking at Hani's hand, he might already have Street as well, so that might be the only choice.
Yeah, I think I saw the Street in the hand.
So yet again, contemplating how he wants to move next. It looks like it's going to be a My Friend now. He knows that there's no copy of Droll and Lockwood from Sebastian's hand after the successful add here. I think if you're not going for Noir immediately, this would probably be a good time to get Pretty Memory. Or no, it looks like Delicious Memory, and
you always want to have a chance to get that Delicious. I think the other two are Happy.
Yeah, it could be Happy Memory there. Normally, I think maybe you want to go to Pretty because of how strong Beauty's effect is, just having an additional interruption. But actually, that kind of interruption is not very good against Dragon Link to begin with.
Let's see if he got that Delicious Memory. It does look like delicious. Nope,
That's
the street.
So now the monster special summon this turn will not be able to be targeted.
Oh, he's shuffling his deck, so I don't think that means he's going to be going back in, unless he's going to be drawing a card.
I can't imagine him not going back in here. What else would you do?
Maybe he was just shuffling.
The street.
There's Happy Memory protecting the street this turn, or
Effective
until
seat.
the next turn as well.
Mm-hmm.
That could be very oftentimes forgotten.
Sure. He's going to go into Purrely. Is that happiness?
That's happiness, yeah.
Yep.
Not the strongest in the turn one, but you're able to just go ahead and put an additional draw effect on it with Sleepy Memory during the end phase.
Sure.
You have Purrely to turn it into Noir on the following turn, potentially drawing an additional card
Yep.
if you're choosing to get a little greedy with it. But again, you want to be a little careful around that Kurikara.
Very true, very true. We'll have to see if that is going to be the case. You could just
Pass turn.
take the one draw and then yeep and not activate the effect.
Effect to draw one.
Yeah.
We'll see how disciplined Hani is here, or if he thinks he needs to take as many resources as he can.
Sorry.
Because it's not like it's the end of the world if the Kurikara hits on the Noir.
He
Because
has
you
the
do have
My
my
Friend
friend.
Purrely. Yeah. My Friend Purrely has that awesome effect where you can add up to 3 of the Purrely quick plays back from the graveyard to the hand.
Honestly, that's what's really keeping this Purrely deck going, is that inevitability, that longevity of just adding those cards consistently. Because you can just throw away the materials on this Noir pretty easily, knowing that My Friend Purrely will just give you all those cards back when that Noir eventually dies.
Definitely. But he does have a Noir with 5 materials, I believe. Is it 4 or 5?
It looks like 4.
4, so it can be affected. Oh, it can't be targeted, but it can be affected. Sebastian starting off with the Bestial Rebellion is going to discard it to add a Bestial monster from the deck to the hand.
I imagine just the Magnemite again.
Usually, unless you already have it.
There's the
There it
Magnemite.
is.
Resolution.
There's the Droll and Lockbird.
Sure.
Hani already resolving 2 draws this turn, getting a lot of additional value. And this is what I talked about, right? All these new additions to the Dragon Link strategy that keeps adding more cards to hand. You start off with Little Bellion, adding the Magnemite to your hand, but where do you go from here? You
Yeah,
have
it's probably the best one to draw, right? So it's one of the best ones. I mean, Terraforming or something like that might be the better.
Upstart.
Upstart's the best. That can't feel good.
That does never feel good.
Normal summon of Rocket Tracer.
Which also feels terrible, knowing that your boot, like your Striker Dragon is not going to get you boot sectored this turn.
Yeah,
if you choose to even make it.
Yeah, maybe he's just trying to get another card on the field to use the quick effect, or just link it into the Striker Dragon, not do the add.
Maybe he attempts to just attack, try to force out the Noir, pretend like he has access to Zeus.
Could be true. He's definitely in a precarious position. Going to go for Saronir.
Oh, this gives him access to level 10 synchro lines.
Summon.
Yep. That's going to force out Hani to use Noir's effect.
You think he goes after the Tuner or the Saronir, knowing that there are no lights in either graveyard at this point. So if you just go after the Saronir, there's not really a target for Magnemite to bring itself. Oh, well, actually, the Tracer will just be able to target the Saronir. That could be huge.
It is definitely. I knew he was trying to find a way to stick something out to use that quick effect of Tracer. Do you think maybe the slight misstep, not just going after that normal summon Tracer before he could get another card on the field?
I still think that's what Sebastian was looking for, but he just wasn't prepared for something like Saronir, which gives him access to more cards, because one of the few ways after Drone Lockbird has resolved, Saronir sends a card from deck to the grave. So still having a little bit more access that way.
Yeah, he'll be able to get another Bestial Lubelli on the graveyard one. Looks like he's going to summon Rocket Caliber from the deck.
I like to think, yeah, you would send another Lubellion. So when you summon this Magnemite, you're able to send it, put the Lubellion back on the field. Another card that does still play around Drone Lockbird, where you're able to put the regain directly from the deck onto the field.
Yep, and you don't have to add it to the hand.
But you are now locked into Dark Monsters from the extra deck.
And for the rest of this turn, no Seals Pass here.
I imagine at this point, the Noir is going to wait for the Magnemite to hit the other level 6, because you're not all that worried about a level 8 Synchro at this point.
Yeah, there's no Link monster in the graveyard to worry about Borreload or anything. There's no Chaos Ruler.
Yeah, that was a big loss for the Dragon Link strategy for sure. They don't really have a go-to level 8 Synchro monster anymore. Maybe into the Axel Synchron or Axel Synchro.
Yeah, when he's not locked into Dark, so it might be one of the options. And now he's going to link away the Rocket Tracer to summon Striker Dragon. No effect to add, thanks to the all-powerful Droll and Lockbird.
He could still use its effect to add the Rocket Tracer back to his hand if he wants.
No, the second effect, he could. Usually you want to go to like Rocket Recharge or something, but why not?
I think Sebastian just wants Hani to be forced to use Noir as early as he can.
think that is playing. He's like, how can I force out this Noir? I need to get lights and darks in my grave so I can summon this Magnemite from my hand. He won't be able to add a dragon during his end phase, though.
He can add back from the graveyard, though.
Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't have to go from the deck, so that would be useful. He's going to use Striker Dragon, as you said, to add back that Tracer.
Oh,
because he has a
Recharger.
Recharger. Okay, this is cool.
Yeah, this gives him options. He can summon a Dark Dragon from the graveyard. He's opting to go back into the Serenir. So, this gives him access to Chaos Angel, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Neither of them are tuners, but Chaos Angel able to use its ability to turn a light or dark monster into a tuner for its Synchro Summon.
But I think is Chaos Angel a light or a dark? It's tough to remember. All the Chaos monsters are usually dark monsters, but you know, Soldier and Chaos Emperor Dragon, both the opposite. Chaos Angel is a dark, so he will be able to go into it.
Oh, but it looks like it's going into Despotter.
Despotter's a strong one as well. Despotter able to special summon a banished monster.
Caliber.
So it looks like Noir is trying to protect itself from like even having the Magnemite hit the field. Going to go after the monster in the graveyard rather than the Magnemite on the field. Oh, actually, no, he's just going to go after the Despotter here. Before any monsters are... well, he can summon back the Lubellion, can he not?
Yeah, he's going to be able to use the Disbatter here on the Noir because it doesn't target. Yeah, so he's going to shuffle back and destroy it. It doesn't negate it, so it gets it off the field, but this is going to start triggering all of Hani's cards.
Oh, you're this be one. Sorry. Yeah, no, this is mandatory, so Chainlink 1.
Oh,
Chainlink 2. Chainlink 3.
So Chainlink 3 is going to add back a couple of Purrely quick play spells from the graveyard, and Purrely comes to the field.
Because of the effect of Street.
Yep. You trigger the Magnet effect, but it's not going to be able to add during the end phase.
And of course, Purrely can't activate either because of that Duel and Lockbird.
Now he is going to tribute the Magnemite to special summon the Beast of Lubellion back from the graveyard.
Like the extra? Yeah.
Now he's going to be able to use its effect, regain back.
The Disbatter got shuffled back from the Noir. The effect
Correct,
negated. Now Lubellion's going to activate probably a branded regain from the deck. Really, we were talking about the side deck and that Droll and Lockbird, a key card in what's going on in this matchup. If Hani didn't have that Droll and Lockbird, Sebastian would be running away with this game right now.
Absolutely. He's still in a pretty decent position here. The end phase, the Serenir is going to go back to his hand. So being able to put that pressure on, Regain is going to be able to cycle itself for a draw when either of those monsters hit the field. It's going to be able to summon back the Magnemite as well as when the monster is summoned. And that's going to give him even more resources. Hani's going to want to apply as much pressure this turn as he can. Really maybe set up a large Zeus or even go for a lethal shot with Delicious Memory.
Phase 1.
Yeah, he has a handful of cards. He's going to be able to start off with My Friend Purrely, pay 500 life points, reveal 3 Purrely quick play spells. 1 will randomly be added to his hand.
Looks like it's going to be a copy of Pretty. What will his other 2 choices be?
Sleepy? And we're just 3 pretties. He could be looking to go into Beauty.
Pretty so far. And it looks like he is going for that Delicious Memory as well.
Oh, yeah, he might as well. If there's a chance. No?
No?
Yep.
There's one.
So you're saying there's a chance to get Delicious Memory here. He still has to be weary of the Bestials in Sebastian's hand.
What will that get?
Only time will tell.
Oh, the anticipation. Now, on the field, there's a bunch of ways for Sebastian to amass more resources, but how many interruptions does he really have?
Probably not many. But you never know. Dragon Link is one of those decks that can play a lot of the monster effects you can use from your hand. It's going to be a normal summon here of Purrely.
So because it's a normal summon, it can be targeted, but also triggers the regain. So there's Magma coming back. Will Purrely hit here?
Yep.
That is quite some options.
Nibiru, Beauty, and Pretty. I'm sorry, Happy.
I think so. He thinks it seems like he got Pretty before. I don't think he wants another copy, so he's going to go for Happy now. And Happy is one thing that you want to have access to if you want to go for the line where you get to attack a bunch of times.
Effect Exceed.
So you can use Purrely's effect to Exceed Summon.
I'm using Pretty here.
Goes into Beauty.
Thinking. There's one that like sends you can attach one, right?
I think Hani might be looking to just go for a huge material Zeus here.
Absolutely, and you have to keep in mind Pretty's effect while it's under one of these monsters. It makes it so you can send one card you control to attach another card for your opponent controls.
Ooh, that might come into play here. But it looks like Sebastian is going to summon Sarnir, banishing Recharger from the graveyard. And then he's going to trigger Branded Regain to put the Recharger back into his deck and draw a card.
These draws could be really huge here. You want to find any more interruptions in your hand that you can. Well, Sebastian is fighting to see another turn, because I think if he can see another turn, he can close his game out.
Sure.
But Hani is trying to find the exact opposite. He wants to end this game this turn.
I'm going to use the
He's going to use Sleepy Memory, and then Beauty is going to attach and change the battle position of one of his opponent's monsters.
Sarnir going into defense now.
So he's going to discard, looks like Delicious.
Perfect. He's able to attach it, and that's all he really needs to do. Although he would like to have used it to make a monster indestructible.
Yeah, it looks like he was kind of hesitating, thinking about it. Now he's going to summon, imagine a Purrely. Oh, Purrely. Yep, going to go for an Excavate. It isn't once per turn, as you mentioned previously.
Yeah, trying to get as much advantage as he really can here. So we'll see the Beauty attach here. So going for just the one.
Sleepy, Talents.
Ooh, Talents could be really interesting, but right, of course. This is Purrely, not Prosperity.
This is Prosperity. The Talent would be nice. I would be playing Purrely if I could add Talents with Purrely. That would be amazing.
You've seen enough Vanquish Soul, or sorry, the Runic for Hire where the Rafal can just add any of those cards.
Yeah, that is a crazy combo. I hope to see some of those decks tomorrow for sure. So he's going to use Sleepy now, and that's going to be able to trigger your Beauty's effect to attach as a material.
Getting it nice and large here.
Discards the cost for Sleepy.
Again, it's so easy to think that these cards that discard is a cost, but no, these cards are actually discarded for effect. Sometimes used to trigger Dark Worlds in a bit of a hybrid strategies, but really important because they're not as weak to Ash Blossom.
Yeah,
you don't have to lose at the card in your hand if they try to interrupt you.
Yeah, this term is just the cost of what the card takes. Yeah, not the cost for the activation, but the cost of activating.
Another Pretty Memory, it seems. That looks like 4 materials on the Beauty. If he wants to, he can make an unaffected Noir here.
Effect Exceed.
Yep.
He's gonna. Oh, that's a Happy Memory.
Yep, she's gonna go into Happiness. Purrely Happiness.
Effect Exceed.
Yep.
And then another Beauty.
Battle.
So Beauty has the effect to negate a monster's effect. Pretty Memory is going to be able to remove a card as well.
Attack.
So that's attack number 1.
Effect to search and split in half. 1250.
So you can have the Beastly Rebellion and
adds the Delicious Memory here.
At this time, active player, please finish.
Okay, so we missed.
Activate.
We confused Delicious Memory for another one then.
yeah, I guess the Delicious is still in the deck. Kind of hard to tell.
Activate.
But he's
Effect
gonna
to
use
equip.
Yep.
Activate. Effect to equip.
Just equipping
So
all
it's
the
at
spells from his
1,
hand.
2, 3, 4, 5, 35.
3,500.
As big as possible.
1250.
He's trying to attack this
So
Lebellion as many
I
times as possible,
will
halving it each time, and
attack
because it's indestructible, he just gets to
the
keep
first time.
attacking it.
You take.
This is incredible.
35 minus 1250. Judge, help me, please.
Trying to do the math.
2250, I think.
Then effect to search, effect to split. Yeah.
So now it's going to be down to 675.
Gonna add.
Yeah. Then it goes to 650. It goes to 625.
it's just game, right?
Yeah.
Just going to
He has enough attacks to get that. This is what you love seeing in Purrely. This is the sickest